Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rat Droppings. All the news Disney won't want you to listen to. Hear me out. I do have a lot of experience in the industry. I worked at a regional park for the better part of a decade. I've seen what works and I've seen what doesn't. First topic, and I wanted to do it the night of the big premiere coming up for Star Wars Land. Galaxy far, far away is going to be far, far from a success. What could have been should be the label of it. One picnic blanket set up in the corner of a park is not good enough for Star Wars fans. It's the biggest license. It's the most successful film franchise in the history of film. And to set aside 14 acres, I get it. I know what you're saying. But, they don't have, what don't they have? Property in California? Sure, they're landlocked there. I get it. Perfect idea. Make it a picnic blanket in the corner, but advertise it as so. It's a land. It's not a new park. It's not the end-all be-all. It's not what Star Wars deserves. Star Wars deserves to be like nothing else, because it is nothing else. And it's sad that Mr. Iger is a businessman and not a fan. He's simply not an entertainer. He doesn't know how to entertain us. All he cares about is one thing, and it's his wallet and how much he has. He's an egomaniac. Everything has to be centered around him, and yet he doesn't remember who started the company. It all started with a mouse. Walt's way worked for decades. I get it. It's a different time. It's a different world. I understand that. But simply put, Disney lets you go to their Disney University. They charge companies thousands of dollars to send people. And they stress one thing. Do it right, make it right, or make it right. That is so simple and yet so complicated to do in today's age. I get that. But unfortunately, Disney does not. And it's ironic, and I don't remember when it happened or why I didn't notice. But if you notice in the movies they make now, it just says Disney. Walt is gone. And that's the saddest thing about Disney now. You have a businessman that made it just another company. And the saddest thing about that is us fans, the ones that have supported it for decades, are lost in the mix. And I'll briefly state that when you set aside 980 acres, which would encompasses all the parks, almost the same amount of space. In Florida, where you could have made a new Star Wars, you could have called it Galaxies Far, Far Away, included Marvel. What a novel idea. And yet they haven't. What is those 980 acres that you don't see? Some people probably don't even know. Multi-million-dollar homes. That's the target audience of Mr. Iger, because that's his friends. That's what he cares about. Bragging about who has the biggest paycheck. And that's sad. Because us fans are now lost out on what could have been. Star Wars Galaxy Edge is barely 14 acres. Toy Story Land is 12 acres. If you've gone to Toy Story Land and tried to enjoy it on a busy day, the lines for the two rides that are there are through the entire section. So you really can't enjoy anything because you're stuck in a line. I call it the line ride. And, South Park covered it pretty well. But that's not the Disney way. Setting aside picnic blankets for entities that are so popular is only one thing. A money grab. And I get it. They spent $1 billion on these picnic blankets for us fans. But what could have been? And I get why Mr. Iger didn't spend the money, because what he doesn't spend, he gets back in a bonus. Shame on you. Not everybody is still under the Disney, Apple brainwash. Some of us have woken up. It's ironic that as a Star Wars fan growing up, I'm just not looking forward to trying to enjoy these picnic blankets set up. Because the simple fact is, it's just too small. It's just too small. You just can't do... you get 4 hours in the parks for a few months. And that's terrific if they had enough for you to do in 4 hours. But the sad reality is, those 4 hours are going to be spent on one ride, the only ride that's open in California. So, themed Star Troopers to kick you out after you spent so much money and you have little kids. Little kid doesn't want to hear that, sorry, we built this too small. We just wanted to cash in on what we just bought and make sure that, the return is really high. I don't think it's going to be. I think you're going to have a lot of people like you and I that try to enjoy it. We're excited. We go. We give them their money. And yet we're let down. And that's sad. The Star Wars Galaxy Edge is far, far away from what a Disney park should be. I look at overseas. And it's just now that Disney bought out the property rights and they now own it outright. But the theming and the rides they have abroad are so much better because the people that were running those parks remembered Walt's way. Never interrupt the magic. Make it a magical day. And make it right or make it right. And if this channel takes off, great, terrific, you like it, you know how to, do that. If not, I probably won't continue it. But somebody has to be the voice of reason. I mean, I'm friends with a lot of the YouTubers that have awesome channels about the positive things Disney's doing. But somebody has to be there to be that governor to let you know, wait a minute. Maybe your money's better spent somewhere else right now. I hope I'm wrong in this, but I don't think I will be. Galaxy Edge is going to be the edge of people's patience with Disney. And it's sad that Mr. Igers seemingly is proud of what he's done. You shouldn't be. That's the biggest Iger I know. An Iger is Disney mistake from now on. That's what I'm going to say. And on that note, I hope I kind of let you on to a little secret. The new Disney doesn't care about you and I. They want the deepest pocket. 980 acres, multi-million-dollar homes. That's not Walt's way. That's sad and pathetic. 37 rooms. Great theming, all inclusive. 37. Let's break that down, folks. 37 rooms. Who do you think's going to be able to afford those? Who do you think's going to have those reservations for decades before you and I get to see what is in that hotel? You know for darn sure, you and I can't afford $5,000 for one night. I don't care what you're doing. That's not Walt's way. That's pure greed. And shame on you, Mr. Iger. Signing off, first rat droppings. Let's see what happens. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. If not, leave some comments and I'll try and answer everyone. Take care. And remember, make it right